All right, what's up, guys? Hope you're having a great Monday. What an amazing start to the week. I mean, Bitcoin is looking extremely bullish, and altcoins are flying, and the market is just extremely bullish. And what I want to give you guys today is a quick live where I'm going to be able to answer all your questions, and I'm also going to take a look at Bitcoin, show you my thoughts and my plans on Bitcoin, as well as taking a look at a couple of interesting altcoin positions that we have and that we got our eyes on in the Birb nest. All right, so let's run the intro, and right after that, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. All right, so here's BTC USDT on Coinbase. I have no idea why I'm looking at this on Coinbase. Usually that's not the exchange that I shot on, but you know what? Let's go to another one. I think BTC USDT USD on Bitstamp is the shot that I mostly look at. All right, so here it is. We have the let's look at the daily first and foremost here. And guys, if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any shot requests or anything like that, let me know. I cannot promise you I'm going to look at all the requests and all the questions, because I do have a bit limited time today, but we'll try to get go through everything. So let us just zoom out here and look at the bigger picture here for Bitcoin. What I have here on the shot is the people who follow me on a regular basis know that the two moving averages that you see on the shot right here is the green 50 EMA and the yellow 50 EMA. They are they're from two different time frames. So the thin lines are from the 4-hour, and the thicker lines are from the daily. So you have the daily 20 and 50 EMA, as well as the 4-hour 20 and 50 EMA, and those are the EMAs that I use in my trading system. I've tried to keep it as minimalized as possible and remove all the noise and only focus on the moving averages that matters to me, and those are the 20 and the 50 EMA. So what I really like about this recent move on Bitcoin right here is, when we started the last bull market, I think we had a nice entry on Bitcoin in the Birb nest around 12.5. So we had a pretty nice, break and retest of the 10K area here, and then we had some type of confirmation at 12.5. I can't really remember, but we had a nice entry around the 12.5 K area. So what I was thinking back then was I'm gonna play it using the daily 20 and 50 EMA. So my exit plan was when the market structure was clear, and with market structure I'm talking about this, right? When the market structure was clear, I think somewhere up in the 40K region, I decided to exit Bitcoin when we broke the daily 50 EMA, because a break of the daily 50 EMA would most likely mean a shift in market structure and a breakdown, which is exactly what we got right here, where we have higher highs and higher lows. And that you then, when you broke the daily 50, you had a lower high and then a lower low and then a lower high, and that started the major moves to the downside. So because of that, I also decided to enter Bitcoin once again when we reclaimed the daily 50 EMA. So you can see right here, the thick 50, the green line right here, that's the daily 50 EMA. So we had the daily 20 EMA crossing above the 50 EMA for the first time since breaking the trend. And you then have a beautiful bounce on that bull cross between the 20 and the 50 EMA in a daily. And that is when I should have entered, but I didn't. Right? So I should have entered right here, but I did not. And why I didn't do that was because I was actually waiting for the obvious retest, which happens down here, and I completely missed this opportunity to go long here. I know that Birb actually posted a fantastic bottom call on Bitcoin down in this region, which we are currently in the Birb nest, but I never entered Bitcoin on spot like I like the plan was, right? So what I did was today I started enter spot Bitcoin when I saw that we have a basically when I decided to enter was when we had this right here where we reclaimed the weekly open. We had a bounce on the 20-minute 4-hour with stochastics, giving us a bull cross right here, and we effectively reclaimed the 42k major resistance area, and we broke above the range. So in my opinion, we have now a very likely we're going to see a bullish continuation of the major uptrend, which is this uptrend right here. So this was the accumulation zone. We broke out of the accumulation range, and we are now starting to see a bullish market structure once again. Now, the important part here is my invalidation will be the same as the last bull cycle. I guess we're still in the bull cycle, but the last bull run, which was the move from 10k to 65k. The invalidation level, or the invalidation rule of invalidation level back then, was if I lose the daily 50 MA, I'm going to exit Bitcoin. So I want to use the same idea in my in the next coming months, right? Where if this continues, I do think we're going to see 100k Bitcoin at the end of the year if this really continues. But because you know what happens when Bitcoin starts a bull trend, it will leave most people behind, and it's going to be very explosive, and it will happen quite fast. I know a lot of people are still waiting for the retest of daily 20 and daily 50, but I decided to not make the same mistake I did in the last bull run, where we had the breakout above 20k right here. I waited for a pullback. Right, we never got a pullback. We have never tested 20k again. So yeah, I had to buy Bitcoin way higher than 20k to fill up on that spot position, and I think I actually bought around the 30k area instead of 20k. So I lost a lot of profit doing that. And this time around, I'm not gonna wait for a clear retrace, because I think that happened right here. That was the lost opportunity on my part. So I am exposed to Bitcoin. I bought around the weekly open, and my invalidation level is 14% below my entry, which means I am okay with losing 14% of that position. Now, my hopes are that we're going to see a move up to the 50k region. I will take some profits at 49k, which is right up here below the high time frame bullish fib 0.236 and the bearish fib, which is 618 of the bearish fib, which is the short RLC of the latest down move, which is this one right here. So from that high to that low, you get the short RLC right here, and that will most likely act as a very strong resistance area for Bitcoin. And that is when I will take some profits up here, and I will start looking at hopefully having the weekly open this general area right here, hopefully having the daily 50 EMA up in this region, so that I can start moving my stops up closer to entry. Now, my hopes are also that we get a rejection at the 0.618, the short reload zone, come down and test the 50% region right here, the area around 45 and 46. So somewhere between 45 and 46k, I want to see a bottom being put in, a local bottom, and the trend, I hope, and this is kind of like what I'm thinking, is going to look something like this. As soon as we break above 50k, we are most likely, in my opinion, going to see all-time highs. And if we do touch and break the all-time highs, I do think that 100k is absolutely on the table once again. Now, let me show you something else. You see this yellow fib right here. Let's actually make it the original template right here, and let's hide the bearish fib right here. So you guys know that I like to go long. Like one very important part of my trading strategy is focusing on the 50% fib and the 618. I also use the reload zone, this whole area right here, but that's a little bit different, right? That's a little bit different. When I'm looking at like to go long in an uptrend and I'm looking for a pullback, I'm looking for a pullback closer to the 50% and the 618, right? So when I do enter on the If I do enter on the 50% or the 618, I want to use the 0%, the -236, and the -618 as my take profit targets. Considering that this is a high time frame, long-term hold trade for Bitcoin, I do consider holding this all the way up to the -0.618. So let me show you where that actually is. So the minus 618, the area between the -50 and the -618, you have 100K right here. That's going to be my final take profit. That is when I will exit and expect the next bull cycle to end, right? And I do think it looks very good from a high time frame perspective to see an extension all the way up to 100K. It just makes sense according to, well, I'm not according to anything, but I used to think it makes sense. So if you see if you look at this market structure, let's start here. So you have, the high, the low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, break down, bearish market structure, something like this, right? Then you form a bullish market structure here again, hoping that would look something like this. And it just makes sense to see this continue up into the 100K area, right? Which would kind of line up nicely if you compare these two runs with, run with the previous one. So definitely think that would be, the area around 100K, that it's going to be that I'm just going to exit, right? I'm just going to exit. Now, if, let's say, I'm going to add the daily 20 and the daily 50, what if the trend is breaking below 100K? Well, obviously, if that happens, I will have to exit Bitcoin below 100K. So for me to exit this Bitcoin position right now, two things need to happen. Either we hit $100,000 per Bitcoin, that's when I'm going to exit fully, or we have a daily open and close, so a daily candle opening and closing below the daily 50 EMA. So let me show you why it's actually quite important to wait for the daily open and close and not only a close, because you do get fake outs to the downside as well. So this is the daily chart right here. So let's look at the behavior of the last bull run, right? Because it's not only important to identify the market structure, it's also important to identify the behavior of that market structure. So the behavior, this market structure for Bitcoin right here is a picture perfect bullish market structure with higher highs and higher lows. It's going nicely, just very beautifully, right? It's perfect bullish market structure. So the behavior of this market structure is obviously with every major dip comes close to the daily 50 EMA with a daily bullish engulfing with a stochastic bull cross below 20 on the daily. So you have a daily bullish engulfing right here, stochastic bull cross hitting the 50 EMA in a daily. This is, it gets close. It gets close enough, and then you have a daily bullish engulfing with a stochastic bull cross. You get very close to the daily 50 EMA right here, daily bullish engulfing, and a stochastic bull cross right here. Now, the difference here is when you have this daily bullish engulfing right here with stochastic bull cross, you're actually below the moving averages. So even though that this part of the behavior is still intact, right? You know what I mean? Like you have different components of the behavior of the market structure. This is one of the components. So this component right here, the stochastics RSI with the daily bullish engulfing, is intact, but the market structure is not intact. And number one focus for all traders should be market structure. If market structure is not in alignment with your bias and your plan, you're not going to be able to trade that setup, right? So the market structure breaks. That's your first cue of something is wrong, right? So the market structure breaks, you have a daily open and close below the 50 EMA. And yeah, sure, you get a daily bullish engulfing and stochastic bull cross, but it's below the two moving averages that are dictating the behavior of the trend, and it's also printing a lower low. So naturally, this is a bearish development. So what you see here is just a bearish retest and a lower high, and that is the start of the major down move. So what you're seeing now, this move to the downside, is you're getting the same stuff but in reverse, right? So you have you're hitting the not exactly the daily 50 EMA, but the area around the daily 50 EMA. You get a strong daily bearish candle and a stochastic bear cross here, so you get the reverse. Right now we are seeing exactly the same type of scenario most likely about to play out again. So I do anticipate Bitcoin to start ranging bullishly quite nicely. Trending bullishly quite nicely above the 20 and the 50 EMA, and any major dip will most likely take us down closer to the daily 50 EMA. And if you're a long-term position trader holder, you would want to buy the dip on any daily bullish engulfing with a stochastic bull cross below 20 or at least 30. So that is my plan going forward, because the behavior of Bitcoin currently is very, very clear on the daily timeframes. All right, so that's enough of that. Now you know kind of my plan for next of the week, next of the year, actually, when it comes to Bitcoin. Very simple, very clear. You guys might think that you're probably watching a lot of other traders showing you the most advanced shit you've ever seen, the most crazy shot, right? And let me tell you that you don't need that, right? You really don't need that. All you need is horizontal levels and market structure. I can just remove the fibs. I don't care. Like, I can remove the EMAs as well. It's just market structure, horizontal levels. Just focus on the basics, and you are going to become profitable quicker than if you have 100 billion different indicators and people shouting in your ear what to do and what new form of trading analysis you should be doing, because it's like the most advanced shit that they've ever developed. It's not about that. It's just about market structure and supply and demand. Just stick to the basic. Are you in a trend or are you in a range? If you're not a range trader, don't trade range. If you're not a trend trader, don't trade the range. If you're in a trend and you get pullbacks down to a horizontal level and it's bouncing, you buy. That's simple. That's just that simple. Right. So let's focus on the closest, the most recent price action here. So let's add the daily, the 4 hour 20 EMA and the 4 hour 50 EMA right here. And let's also add the fib that we removed, and we're also going to add obviously need to add a horizontal level here as previous range high right here. And I do believe that range high got front ran here. I really do think that Bitcoin is on its way up to the 50K region right here. This is a setup that I had that I'm actually still looking at this setup, but I am, like I said, I did buy as soon as we reclaimed weekly open here, but I'm still looking at this trade here on Bitcoin as a potential leverage long, right? Sorry about that. Man, I should probably not speak too much. All right, so you have the weekly open down here, confluent with the 4 hour 20 EMA, and what I want to see here is, like, I want the stochastics RSI on the 4 hour to go lower. I'm gonna keep that trend line on here because I do think it kind of makes sense, and I like the fact that you have the monthly open right here, confluent with that fib level and the 4 hour 50 EMAs. You might actually see move down into that region. So let's see if we can add the fibs here to see if it actually makes sense from a Fibonacci perspective. And if this is the top, it makes perfect sense because it means that the monthly open and that fib level is right between the 50% and the 618 of this latest fib right here. And it's also that trend line. So what I do in a scenario like this, I'm just going to buy whatever setup is activating. And a setup activating for me means we see a 4-hour bullish engulfing with a stochastics bull cross on any of the EMAs which are confluent with the weekly open or the monthly open and the fib areas. So right now I do see one potential long right here and another potential long down here. So either go long at the 44K area or the 42K area is what I'm thinking. And that's looking at a leveraged long. I'm still spot long on Bitcoin. I still have that exposure, and I'm not interested really in looking at a exit strategy for that one until we actually start failing the bullish daily uptrend that we're seeing right now. All right, is Bitcoin going down? No, I don't think so. But if we lose 42K area and we start seeing a bullish break in market structure, absolutely, I think it's going to be very bad for Bitcoin. What else? All right, this one. Hi, thank you for your time. Question. Thank you for your time. Your time. I mean, Bitcoin is taking a big part of the market. It's better to. Yeah, good question. So when it comes to holding, I'm like long-term positions and holding. I'm only holding Bitcoin. I'm only really interested in Bitcoin from a fundamentalist perspective. So long-term, I'm only really interested in Bitcoin. If I want to hold in an altcoin long-term, I'm gonna look at Ethereum. Anything else, is used for me to make money short-term trading. I'm not interested in holding altcoins. I think that is. Bitcoin is the safest bet. Ethereum looks pretty good as well, and I like Ethereum. So Ethereum comes second, but Bitcoin is your safest and best bet. I mean, look at this. Buying and holding. So my strategy is this, right? I buy and hold Bitcoin, but I trade altcoins, right? So I want to trade altcoins. I want to get in and out quickly on the altcoins, and then hold Bitcoin long term. So the baseline in a bull market is going to be Bitcoin, and I will then have a. That's great, man. I love you making notes. That's awesome. And I really do think that a lot of the stuff that I'm giving you guys in these live streams, especially the public ones, they are like I'm always going to be honest with you guys, and I'm always going to show you the ins and outs of my trading system. The only difference really between these live streams right here and the private sessions that I have with my private students is that we in a one-on-one conversation we are able to dive deep into specific things that the student is not really aware of or not really sure how to execute. But I'm basically giving you guys the same stuff without the tailored experience, right? So my trading system and my trading style is very, very simple, right? So what you see right here and the plans and the setups that I'm giving you right here, this is what I do on a daily basis, right? This is what I'm doing on a daily basis, and this is what I do to make money. And if you're not sure that this is actually profitable, go back in price history, use the replay function, TradingView, start back testing, and you're going to see that the break and retest of a horizontal level and an uptrend, if it's confluent with the indicators that I'm using, it's actually working quite effectively. Now I completely forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about something before I started talking about that. Let's just look at altcoins. We have a few interesting altcoin ideas that I'm watching. So we had a call this morning with the TA team in the Birb Nest, and we looked at Theta. Theta, I don't know. So anyway, this I'm pretty pissed that I did not enter this trade based on my system, right? So what I did was I had um, a perfect long developing on Theta right here. I'm going to show you exactly why that long activated, so you can just basically copy what I'm showing you here tonight and apply it to your own trading. So I'm just going to do a quick, 10 minutes step-by-step instruction on how to trade this system on a coin like Theta. So let's go here, use the replay function. So you have the daily 20 and the daily 50 on your chart. You have the monthly open and the weekly open, and you have some fib levels right here. So let's hide that for now. Let's hide that one as well, and this one, and that one, because this is actually an active trade I have. So I can, for my journal, I need to keep it on. Anyway, so here you have the price action right here. And looking at the daily, obviously bearish price action, not looking that good, right? This is not something that you would want to long. However, if you break above this area right here, this is definitely something that you would want to long, because you're now above the daily 20 and the daily 50 and the 4-hour moving averages. You are above the monthly open and the weekly open, and you quite possibly have a bullish break in market structure, right? So that is the scenario that we're watching here on Theta. So the whole idea is based on finding a horizontal level and then going long on the rounded retest of that level, and the first retest, not the second, not the third, only the first retest with a rounded retest. So go forward, you have a breakout. A lot of people will buy this breakout, but I'm not interested in buying the breakout. Even though that a lot of people are very profitable buying the breakout, I'm not profitable buying breakouts because I suck at breakout trading. I've lost way too much money trying to FOMO in on breakout. That's just not me. I'm completely shit when it comes to breakout trading. So I try to stay out of the breakout trades and wait for a retrace. And a lot of people will ask me, well, what if it doesn't retrace? Well, then I'm not in the trade. I'm going to wait for a retrace. And that requires a lot of patience. But I know if you have a proper rounded retest and my setup and gives me an entry trigger, the win rate is going to be pretty good, and the potential risk to reward is going to be very high because of the fact that you now have a major break in market structure on the higher time frames as well. So what you see here is a rounded retest. Shortly, it comes down and it hits that daily 50 EMA right here, almost hits the monthly open and the daily 20 EMA. So in this case right here, what I want to do is I want to add the Fibonacci levels from the low to the high of the move that broke the level. So you have one move here, something here, then you have one move here. That is the move that broke the level. We want to use the high and low of those two. And what we see here is we see, like I've talked about, the area between the 50% to 618, and you also come down and touch the long RLC. Now this is very, very interesting for me, right? This is lining up to be a perfect long. Now you add the stochastics RSI as well. And what we're watching here is we want to see a bull cross on the stochastics. And to really make this a 10 out of 10 setup, we should have some type of test of a general area in a general trend line area. So we're going to add a trend line right here. And as you can see right here, it's not a perfect test, but it's definitely acceptable for me because it's the third retest of a pretty decent trend line right here. So you have all my indicators are telling me that this is the area of interest. Now the entry trigger is going to be a 4-hour bullish engulfing with a stochastics bull cross. And there you have it, a 4-hour bullish engulfing. When this one closes, you have a stochastics bull cross. So I would enter on the candle close right here, and stops would be below the daily 20 EMA because these make sense. And my first take profit would be around the 0, second take profit around the -236, and the last take profit would be at the -618. And the average R of this trade would be 3.6, which is definitely acceptable for a swing trade like this one. And let's see how this is then playing out. This is where we are right now, and I would probably have my TP1 at, right here to kind of front run that zero, and then up here. And I like to zoom out to see if the fib levels are confluent with any resistance areas. And we have one right here, and then we have an obvious area right that goes right through the minus RLC. So I'm going to put the last take profit up here. That is going to be the right. That's it. That's the that's my setup. That's my trading system and my trading strategy. So you can just go back, watch what I've just showed you today, back test this, and then forward test it some. And I'm sure that you're going to be profitable as long as you have have self-discipline, willpower, and the discipline to really um, know when not to trade. I think that's one of the most important parts. Like, know when not to trade. If you wake up and it's just a shitty day and you feel like, oh man, this is the bad day, chances are that your self-discipline and willpower is very low. So you might take a FOMO trade. You might take an entry 10 minutes before the 4-hour candle closes, and in the next 10 minutes it's just going to dump. So if you feel like you're prone to making small errors that day, it's better not to trade. It's better to only trade when you wake up and you feel like this is going to be a good day. I really do think that focusing on the trading psychology of things is going to be what really helps you guys become profitable. And if you have any, like, if you need any help with anything that I've talked about today, and especially the overview of my system here, if there's anything that's not completely clear, please know that you can go to birdnest.com/free trial and join the free trial for free. 7 days for free. You can send me a message, tag me in the Nest Club chat, and I can, we have I have webinars on Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, I have webinars in the Nest Club where I can answer all your questions and show you, the details of whatever you want to know. So with that said, let's take a look at a couple of more altcoins before I have to start working on the Bitcoin report. So that's Theta right here, and that would be the that would be my entry. Now the funny thing here is we had a call this morning, and I never entered because Bitcoin was trading right here, and it kind of looked like it wanted to go down here. Now that never happened. It pumped, and so did Theta. So the lesson here is if you're getting a entry trigger on your system where everything aligns perfectly, just take the goddamn trade. Just take the trade. Worst thing that could happen is you're down 1 hour, and so just take the trade. Just take the trade. Next one is AUD/USDT. We're seeing a very similar pattern right here where you have a 4-hour bullish pin bar, and that is also one of my entry triggers, a bullish engulfing or pin bar. So you have a 4-hour bullish pin bar on a SR level and a 50% fib with a stochastic bull cross, and that would also be a pretty good entry trigger. Now looking at AVE right here, I'm actually thinking that this level below might be a pretty good entry area. So looking at the 1 hour, I would like to see a move down into the 4-hour 20 EMA and weekly open coupled with a 382 fib. So something like this, right? And I would love to go long in this area here. I think that would be a pretty good trade. Yeah, that looks really good. So that's what I'm watching on AVE. I don't know how to. I think it's AVE. I don't know how to pronounce that. Band is actually showing like most altcoins that I have on this list is showing the same type of entry triggers on a horizontal level, right? And note that most of the shot that I'm showing you here that have interesting setups is pretty much looking exactly the same. And the reason for that is because I'm a very visual in my trading. I want my setups to be very clear. The trend needs to be very clear, and all the right conditions need to be met. For example, I need price to be above all the moving average that I'm watching. All the moving average that I'm watching, I cannot go long on something that's below the daily 50 or something like that. Look at MKR right here. Had a beautiful bounce off the 4-hour 50 and 50% here. Stochastic bull cross. Everything just lines up. The thing here is just because you're seeing the same type of setup just emerging all over the market in the same day doesn't mean you're going to take them all, because it's the altcoin market and everything's correlated, right? So everything's moving with Bitcoin. So you have to calculate the risk, right? So if you want to enter, 4 altcoins, but you're only okay with risking 2%, 2% per trade, well, maybe you should view all of these 4 setups as one trade, because if one gets stopped out, the likelihood of the other ones are getting stopped out are quite high. So if you're only okay with risking 2% on a setup, you should probably only be risking 0.25% on each of these setups. So if everyone gets stopped out, you're only going to lose 2%. If you risk 2% on all of the altcoins, you're going to obviously lose 8% of your trading capital if one of them gets stopped out, because if one of them gets stopped out, others will follow, because they're all following Bitcoin right now. Right, so that's MKR. I still think that a pullback down to the weekly open on MKR is looking pretty good. So pretty much on everything here, on all the altcoins, which is in a clear bullish trend above the major moving averages, the daily and the 50 MA on the daily. If you can see a nice bounce of the weekly open, I would like to say that is a beautiful long. Holy shit! Look at that. That is just perfect. So right now, I think it's a bit too late to start entering short-term trades on altcoins. I think we need to see some type of retrace or a break above the local high and form a higher low somewhere in this area. We might want to long here. We cannot long here because it's right in the middle between 2 perfect entries. Like this would probably, like, if you check Rune here, that's the perfect entry, and that would most likely be the perfect entry. So right here is kind of like in the middle of 2 good entries, which is never really going to give you a good risk to reward. So I think if you're, if you feel like you're late to the party, you probably are, but that doesn't mean you're going to be buying, right? It's better to be late to the party. It's it's better to be late to the party than to show up broke, right? I just came up with that one, and that was good. I like that one. So if you want to stay poor, by all means, FOMO in. But I'm telling you, there's going to be so many more opportunities like the one you've seen today, and just wait for a higher low or a bigger pullback. Do you draw monthly, daily, weekly open manually, or is there an indicator for that? I'm using an indicator called, where is it? The indicator I'm using is called Key Levels Spaceman BTC. This one right here. It gives you a lot of stuff. Gives you a lot of different stuff here, but I'm only really interested in the weekly and the monthly open. So that's the one I'm using. Do you also trade BTC pairs when dominance drops? I haven't traded BTC pairs in forever, like maybe a year. And I don't know why. Like it's just not. It's trading the altcoin versus USDTs is working so good. I think in the past I only traded altcoins versus BTC, but I'm only trading altcoins versus USDT, and I think I don't know why. I feel like it works so much better. So, but yeah, when the BTC dominance starts dropping and maybe showing a very, very clear bearish market structure, like it's obviously not showing a bearish market structure right now. Quite to the contrary, it looks like it's going to break out and just rally massively to the upside here. But yeah, if it breaks down, sure, I might be interested in looking at altcoins versus the BTC pairs. But honestly, if you guys know I'm trading the legacy markets as well, so I'm trading the forex market actively as well. So if Bitcoin breaks down properly and we fail to hold the 42K area as support, if we break down and we enter the previous range, I'm going to be holding Bitcoin my spot position and follow the plan on that one. But as long as Bitcoin starts ranging again and all coins are kind of losing Steam. I mean, I'm not gonna I'm gonna be switching from crypto to the legacy markets as well. Like I've been actively more trading the legacy markets for the last couple of months, and that's what I do. Like I shift my focus from the forex market to the crypto market when the crypto market is bullish and the setups are looking really good. I focus on trading crypto, and when crypto is quiet and ranging, I focus on the forex market. And lately, I've seen that using the BTC dominance in my analysis isn't really helping me too much. So if there's a good setup, I'm just going to take it despite what the BTC dominance is showing. Let's see if we have... All right, so I really need to start working on the BTC, the Bitcoin report. So if you're interested in seeing my written report on Bitcoin, like what I think is going on and what I'm looking forward to, is you can go to thebirdnest.com/free trial, check out the free trial, join the server, and get access to the Bitcoin report, a daily written report, which is actually free on the Discord server, but you have to sign up for the trial. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions on what I've showed you today, if there's something that's not clear, because I do really want you guys to understand what I'm saying. And if there's something I'm not clear about, just let me know and I will gladly help you out on that. And you can DM me on Twitter or send me a DM on Discord or just tag me in the Nest Club and I will gladly help you out. All right, guys, thanks for watching the live stream. I'm just going to pull up the green list here, and these are the altcoins that I'm watching right now actively. The ones at the top is the ones that I'm actively monitoring more than others because I think these have interesting setups coming. So pause the video, check out the replay, watch this list, and check them out for yourself. See if you can find anything interesting. All right, guys, if you're a Birdnest member, I will see you in the webinar tomorrow morning, and we're going to continue where we left off in today's webinar and see if we can find any good setups again. All right, guys, take care.